As a matter of fact, it appears that now they are not running a government but a shop. They want that maximum work, maximum output, without understanding that they are required to give minimum facilities to the each and every person working with them, and to take care of those persons. Election Commission is absolutely non-sensitive. They are not taking any care of their employees. They are just want output, nothing more than that. It is really a sad state of affairs. Courts should have taken cognizance of that. Courts should have Suo-Moto taken cognizance of that what is happening. It is not a one death or two deaths. There are series of deaths in different states. They may be ruled by any of the political party. But certainly, I will say that yes, if you want to go with SIR, then don't be in such hurry.
Hello and a warm welcome to HW News Network, your one-stop show, truth be told, for some engaging and thought-provoking conversations. Since last Monday, we've started a series on the booth-level officers who are dying from one state to the other. And every day, almost every day, we are getting stories from various corners of the country how booth-level officers are dying under pressure, under the work pressure of special intensive revision. But you have a callous government, you have a callous election commission, and you have a non-responsive court on this particular issue. Now, if I may tell you a story of another BLO who attempted suicide, and this is the latest case, mind you, and this is the booth level officer who was deployed for the SIR work in Meerut, and he allegedly attempted suicide by consuming poison due to alleged harassment and excessive workload. And this is what the officials and the family members said on Wednesday. And this officer is identified as Mohit Chaudhary. He was 35 years old, a resident of Murlipura village under Mundali police station limits, and he was a senior assistant in the irrigation department, and he was also handling the BLO ICD duties in the Pallavpuram area. He was rushed to a private hospital on Gard Road late Tuesday night and later referred to the Lokpriya hospital in serious condition. Family members have claimed that Chaudhary had been under severe stress for several days due to dual responsibilities and heavy workload. They alleged that a Tehsil level supervisor, Ashish Sharma, had been repeatedly pressurizing him over the progress of forms and threatening suspension and the registration of an FIR. So this is just not one story. There are many stories from across the country like this, where booth level officers are intimidated for criminal cases, for registering an FIR, some of them even dying by suicide. But why is the Election Commission not able to see through? On one hand, you have an intensive special revision of the voter rolls, which is happening across the country, almost 12 states which are undergoing SIR right now. Where is discrepancies coming in? Election Commission is not bothered about the booth level officers or their health. Rather, they are saying that we are trying to give them relief from the stress. And Mr. Gyanish Kumar, who's the CEC, is organizing Zumba dance classes for the BLOs. And he's also on a constant PR machinery where he's trying to enhance his image as if he's done a wonderful job. Now, what would you say? Can you share a few moments? Can you spare a few moments for these BLOs who are dying and whose work is intensive, but they are not recognized? They are not acknowledged by their own elections commission system, which is handing over this job. And regarding this issue, we've been speaking to various people, various luminaries who have been vocal on this particular issue. And joining me this evening is former Chief Justice of Allahabad High Court, Justice Mathur joins us on HW. Justice Mathur, thank you so much for joining on such a sensitive issue on which not many people are talking. My first question, sir, to you is that is the Election Commission blindfolded completely to the pains and the travails of the families in whom the BLOs are dying? Why is Election Commission not able to acknowledge this pain and stress?
You see, yes, I'm in absolute agreement with you that election commission should be vigilant enough. They must be sensitive enough. But the predicament is that it is not only the election commission, your government, your other officials, they all are not working like a welfare government as required according to our constitution. As a matter of fact, it appears that now they are not running a government but a shop. They want that maximum work, maximum output without understanding that they are required to give minimum facilities to the each and every person working with them and to take care of those persons. You see, the BLOs, these booth level officers, their their deaths occurred in several states, in Rajasthan, in Uttar Pradesh, in Bihar, in West Bengal, in Gujarat. So in every state, but no officer is hearing them. Yes, some allegations. They are families of this booth level officers. They are leveling against the immediate senior officers, but the immediate senior officers, they are also under stress. They are also fearful of any kind of this disciplinary action. As a matter of fact, election commission is absolutely non-sensitive. They are not taking any care of their employees. They are just want output, nothing more than that. It is really a sad state of affairs.
Right. But Justice Mathur, you very correctly pointed out that it's not a government, but it's a shop which is running for its own profits to remain in power. But the big question is that this stress is becoming a vicious cycle. You have a BLO who is a Patwari, who's a Lekpal, or he or she is a government teacher. Above him is the SDM, then the ADM, the SDM, then comes the MLA, then the MP. The MP is under stress from, of course, the center is putting pressure on Mr. Ganesh Kumar, and that's how this entire cycle is working. Will anybody speak on this? How do you break this vicious cycle? That's a big question. When the courts are not ready to respond on this, you see that the SIR hearing is on in the court of Justice Surikant and Justice Joy Malia Bagchi. So far, I have not heard a single sentence about BLOs, not even a single sentence about what is happening to the BLOs. Why is there so much of insensitivity as far as the courts are concerned? I still remember when you were the Chief Justice of Allahabad High Court and also otherwise, you've been airing your views on very, very sensitive issues which bring out the humane aspect of the judiciary. What has happened to that humane aspect? I'm really worried about that, and which is why I was really wanting to for you to speak about this issue.
Niruji, the first requirement for a judge is that he must be a sensitive person. He must have sense for to understand that how the people are working, what is their condition, and the person coming before him, why they are coming and where the shoe is pinching. If judge fails to understand that, then they are ultimately going to fail the entire judiciary. Unfortunately, I'm not saying about the Supreme Court where this SIR case is going on, but you see, we are having number of high courts in the country. That's occurred in several states. No court has taken cognizance of that. In media, in newspapers, on electronic media, in social media, we have seen that the BLOs are working under heavy pressure. They are facing a great stress, but nobody is taking care of that. Everybody is just, so far as election commission is concerned, government is concerned, they want to take credit that yes, we are going with this huge task. I was just reading that election commission has said that our election pattern, our system, that is an ideal system, that is an ideal for the entire world. World must learn how this elections be conducted. But I think while doing so, they fail to understand that ultimately people's care is required to be taken by them. They are required to take care of the persons working directly under them. They are taking only and only credit. I just remembering two lines of an Hindi kavita. The poem is घर हुआ घूरा बर्बाद हो गया शौक मालाओं का पूरा हो गया. So now only credit they want to have credit, nothing more than that. Otherwise, courts should have taken cognizance of that. Courts should have Suo-Moto taken cognizance of that. That what is happening? It is not a one death or two deaths. These are series of deaths in different states. They may be ruled by any of the political party, but they all are working under election commission and nobody is taking care. This is surprising. I'm really a very sad state of affairs that now we are not a citizen of a welfare state. We are just not. We are living in a state where just they want that what you can give, how we can show your GDP, etc., etc., all things, but nothing about what our constitution demands for citizens. That is not at all seen there.
But Justice Mathur, the very fact that these BLOs, either they were teachers or lekpals or patwaris, or somebody is working in an irrigation department like this gentleman, Mr. Chaudhary, 35 years, who attempted suicide, they've not been given any training. And they've been asked to fill up unrealistic number of enumeration forms, go door to door, upload them. There is no digital training. Why isn't anybody asking the election commission that how on earth could you include these grassroots workers in such an aggressive, a military looking program? It's almost like a military program. I was speaking to Mr. Devasaham yesterday on this particular program only, where he said that it was a military project given without any training. And my same question to you, sir, is it's such a humongous project, no training. What does it go to show? And this government is talking about labor codes. They are saying that we are trying to bring in labor codes. What do they mean by this?
Military, I tell you one thing, that at the gap of every 10 years, government of India used to undertake the census program. For census, they engaged already working people and also fresh hands. But before utilizing their services for the purpose of census, the government holds training programs. Government gives complete, they not only introduce but give them each and every minute details of what purpose they are going to serve by this census. So I fail to understand when we are utilizing the totally layman's for the purpose of census and we train them, then why election commission has not has not decided to provide training to all these BLOs? And I tell you one thing more. Uh, they are utilizing services of the persons who are at the lowest pedestal or just one or two steps ahead to the lowest pedestal in the government services. They are very low paid employees. They would have engaged other agencies, other persons. They would have created ad hoc or temporary departments for this purpose by engaging fresh hands. But instead of doing that, they are utilizing services of lakepals, they are utilizing services of teachers, they are utilizing services of other low paid employees. This is nothing but their exploitation. You may pay something in addition to their usual wages or salary, but you ultimately human body has its own limitations to work. You can't say that you can't purchase labor in excess by paying certain amount. You are required to have fresh hands with you for doing
No,
this work. And
Justice Mathur, they are trying to get away, especially the Election Commission is trying to get away by saying that, look, we try to increase the salary of the BLOs from 6,000 to 12,000. They say we made it double. Then, like the other EROs and all, likewise, it has been doubled. Though it was done long time back. It was, I think, the circular was put out in August. Now again, they've started saying the same thing. They're trying to cover up their sins by
You
saying that
see,
we will.
salary is not everything. You are ultimately you are purchasing my labor. What salary is? You are purchasing my labor. I can sell my labor to the extent my health permits. If you are keeping putting extra workload, if you are putting extra stress, then this wages or increase in salary, that is nothing. I am absolutely against this overtime system and overwork. This is an exception. This can't be a regular phenomena. BLOs are required to work for day and night. They are every government servant is an employee for 24 hours, 24/7. But in last 200 years, we have learned that a man is required to work for 8 hours, 7 hours, and that too without the stress. Now, what I have heard from the people, the BLOs who are also in contact with me or my other friends, they are saying that they are every day they are receiving threatenings to complete the work before a very definite period, and that is a very short period. They are under stress. They are this is not a work of a welfare government.
But Justice Mathur, when the government is not bothered at all, and they think that these people who are dying by suicide, they are not dying by suicide. It could be some other reason. They are not ready to acknowledge that the BLOs are undergoing so much of stress. Neither is the Election Commission acknowledging it. So with these two bodies completely doing away with the acknowledgement of the stress, who do you think is going to take cognizance? Or we leave the situation like that? We should stop talking about it because it is a repetitive phenomena, and which is why on HW News we thought that we will do a series on this with different people talking about this.
Niluji, I think our political parties must agitate this cause in the on the in public, as well as they may avail the judicial remedy also. This public interest litigation jurisdiction is not closed for political parties. They may go, they are having adequate tools with them. They are having all persons with them. They can file a PIL before appropriate court, may it be the High Court or the Supreme Court, with all details, with all facts that you make. That government may go with the SIR as that want, but service conditions should be revised. Person should be hold responsible and accountable for deaths of BLOs. Their stress level should be reduced. There are so many things, but this is first. I think our political parties and then our trade unions. They are they must come forward to raise these issues, may by way of availing political agitations and also by availing appropriate judicial remedy. They may go for PIL. You see, I can also file a public interest litigation, but I am not having such penetrative tools to avail all the facts. I will just go as a layman and I say that 12 deaths in Uttar Pradesh, some death in Rajasthan, somewhere. But they are having their complete agency. They are having their own tools. They can collect better facts for agitating the cause. So political parties must agitate this cause.
No, but now there are several examples of BLOs dying from different states across the country. The BLOs are dying. But what would you really say about the special intensive revision, Justice Mathur, or the manner in which it has been brought? Obviously, the matter is sub judice right now. Supreme Court is listening to the matter. But constitutional validity is something which the court has begun to hear but hasn't arrived to a conclusion. But everybody has been saying that it is constitutionally, it is invalid, it's unconstitutional, the manner in which it has been brought about. What would you really say? And cleaning up the voter rolls at the cost of so many lives?
You see, I would not like to say anything about the constitutional validity of this entire process. This is subject matter of a repetition, and the hearing is in currency. But certainly, I will say that yes, if you want to go with SIR, then don't be in such hurry.
Yeah.
Let things take place. With you see this election, this voter list, the revision of voter list is a normal phenomena. If you want that some special things in this revision revised, you go and check each and everything, but don't go with such a stress on your own employees. Don't make this entire process a military action where people are losing their life. This is really very strange. If instead of X time, if it takes X plus 2 time, that will not make any difference. So this can be done quite easily if they wish. But I think they are in or
Your audio is breaking, Justice Mathur.
moving so fast. We don't know. I don't know what is their purpose in moving so with
No,
this
but
lightning speed.
what do you think is the reason, Justice Mathur, for such a tearing hurry into a process which is costing so many lives?
I don't know, as a matter of fact, what they want. But I can certainly say that this is not desirable in a country like India, in our constitutional scheme, in our constitutional system, where welfare of citizens is required to be taken care, where welfare of employees is to be taken care, where the things are to be every work it is to be discharged in such a fashion that it may not cause any injury to any person. They want to delete certain persons who should not be the voters in this country. All right, make investigation, do take your all whatever you want, but why you are harassing the people for that? May the persons whose names are there, may the persons who are making this entire revision, everybody has been harassed. You are taking this is a big task, certainly, but go with that big task with big ideas. You are having appetite to have rats only and you want to become lion. They will remain cat. They can't be a lion with this appetite. They must understand that for a big work, a big understanding is required.
That's true.
But unfortunately, this election commission is not having that kind of understanding, that kind of broad mind and broad understanding of all the issues. I have heard on several occasions, I have heard our chief election commissioner, but I'm sorry to say that the things are not such mature as required. And every time I remember T.N. Session Saab, whenever and several other election commissioners also.
I'm glad that a person like you is really calling out this process, and which is why I started this series with that people, important people, should come and talk about this. I don't know whether Ganesh Kumar will get affected by this or not, who's a CEC. But what is your appeal, sir, from the courts? Because you yourself said that the courts should take a Suo-Moto Cognizance with the manner in which the BLOs are dying. But so far, we have not seen the courts responding the way they should have. What would you like to appeal to the courts? Because you are
You
a
see,
former
in last few years, in the name of this, the Chief Justice is the master of roster. I'm having no doubt that yes, he is master of roster. But at the same time, the extension given to this concept is to the extent that no judge should take cognizance, Suo-Moto Cognizance of public issues. This is floating everywhere in judiciary. I only want to say that let the concept of public interest litigation and Suo-Moto Cognizance be understood in its true spirit. A judge can't shut it. Judge can't shut his eyes when he is watching a clear violation of fundamental rights, constitutional rights, or also watching any arbitrary action, or apprehends that such action is appears to be arbitrary. Court must take cognizance of that. But at the same time, I would also like that if political parties collectively or any political party individually make the complete investigation and go for a public interest litigation before the competent court.
Right. I'm glad I spoke to you, sir. Thank you so much for those encouraging words. And I just hope Election Commission listens to this and watches this interview, and just hope if they can open their eyes to see what is happening to the BLOs. And we must speak about the families of these BLOs. What are they going through? What kind of pressure they are going through? One needs to spare some time for these families as well. Thank you so much, Justice Mathur, for joining on HW. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.